Good evening. My name is Estelle Johnson. I've been a member of FPA since 2009, a parent of 6 children, college graduate, a foster adopted parent for 20 years, recruited over 100 foster parents. Tonight I would like to discuss the monster of false allegations, how its effects can be life-changing. Foster care can be truly rewarding career, but it is not without its challenges. Because of the nature of fostering, the welfare and safeguard of our children is our priority. Many children in the system have experienced abuse and neglect because of their damaging life experience, may display behaviors that can sometimes put foster care at risk of facing false allegations, and sometimes during your foster career. If an allegation is made and an investigation must be commenced to ensure the safety of our children in question, although this is a necessary process, it can put foster parents under considerable emotional strain. While many allegations are proven unfounded or upheld, the impact of the investigation may leave foster parents feeling unable to continue to foster. Mainly because Administration for Children's Services model is to keeping families together and returning to the natural parent. It's not happening. It's just not happening. Instead, they're separating our children, breaking families up, tearing people's lives apart. Why? No one really cares when it comes to foster parents. The problem is when ACS come to do an investigation, instead of focusing on the allegation, they focus on the individual's house. What furniture you have, how did you get this house? Everything except for the investigation of the allegations. Then when they leave your house to go to the office, believe it or not, the allegations begin. I went to do an investigation, there was no food. The kids had no clothing. The children said, "Mom hit me." The worker goes into individuals' files to see if there are any prior cases. If it is, she looks them up and then finds information from the prior case that has nothing to do with this case. And what happens? It becomes a part of this case. People don't believe this, but it's true. What happens behind closed doors? When many allegations may prove to be unfounded or not upheld, the impact of the investigation may leave you devastated, feeling uneasy and unable to continue to do something which you really felt would actually make a difference in a child's life. The reason for false allegations against foster parents, foster care is definitely, foster care's definition as activity that takes place at home. It means devoting a great deal of time, attention to young people who display a large range of challenging behaviors or have extremely complex needs. In this close and often delicate environment, allegations against foster parents can be made at any time and for any reason. The reason for such allegations can vary. Some birth parents make allegations as they believe that cause the children to be returned home. On the other occasion, the child foster care make allegations because they believe this will enable them to return home. Other times, it's because foster children are unhappy with their placement and want to move, or it could be for another reason entirely. The motive behind allegations are often complex, and it's only in a minority of cases that are founded to be true. Sadly, children do not always realize the consequences for them and for their foster families when they make these false allegations. They may do this on the spur of the moment because they are angry about something that has been said or done, or because they are looking for an excuse for their own behaviors. Often they will retract the allegations when they have calmed down, but unfortunately, all too often, the damages has been done and the placements will have ended. Anyone can make a false allegation. allegations. Most false allegations come from jealous friends, natural parents, family members, foster children lacking service. What happens to people? What happens to people's professional lives when someone makes an allegation? If you're a lawyer working with children, principal, school teacher, therapist, daycare, you can lose your job. This is really serious. False allegations breaks up families. Your name are placed on registry for 28 years. It's very devastating. I have a slight scenario to talk about. It's about a woman. She was living in Harlem. She had a brownstone. She was a principal in a school. A very hard-working woman. She had one foster child. She lived in this brownstone that was very nice. It was laced. She had 3 bedrooms. Everything in that house, what a child would want, was in that house. She had one foster child. He was 7 years old and he went to school. And he had one of his friends. And the little boy was wondering why every day the lady brought him, and he had so many nice things. This little boy had everything. Anything he wanted. He had a perfect relationship with his foster parent. He loved them. They had a good bond. One day the little boy went to school and he saw his little friend. The little boy's friend saw him get out the Mercedes Benz. So the little boy asked him, he said, do you like that foster lady? The little boy said, yeah, of course, I love her. She gives me everything. She treats me nice. She takes me different places. She makes me happy. I'm very happy with this young lady, with my mom. So the little boy asked him again, do you really like that lady? The little boy said, I told you, yeah, I love that lady. She's really nice to me. The little boy then told him, well, do you love your mother? The little boy said, I love my mother dearly. So the little boy's friends stated to him and said, again, do you love your mother? If you love your mother, then you would go, if you love your mother, the little boy said yes again. And he said, well, if you really do love your mother, then he said, do you want to go home? The little boy said, yes, I do want to go home. So he said, if you love your mother and you want to go home to your biological mother, then you can go and tell your caseworker when you see him again that this lady abuses you and she does things to you and hurts you. So the little boy thought about it. He said, no, I really love my mom. So when the caseworker came, the little boy thought about it again. I guess he was thinking hard, like any little kid, I want to go home. So what he did, he told the caseworker that this lady abused him. This lady never abused him. She loved him. She gave him everything. They did everything together. They had a very good bond. But the little boy is a little boy, so he wanted to go home. So he told the worker that. So what happened in the story is that the little boy was taken out the home. He was placed into another home where he had to go through a lot of psychological problems because it wasn't the same home he was used to. He was in a good home and he didn't really realize the consequences of him making that false allegation on the mother. So therefore, he was placed in another home and had to be going to therapy, and he didn't have the same life he had. The foster mother, in turn, she was a principal in the school. She lost her job. Her name was placed on the registry for 28 years. And she lost everything. She had a brownstone, a home, everything. She lost everything. The point I'm trying to make in this scenario is that you can lose everything by someone making a false allegation on you. Anybody can make a false allegation. Someone that don't like you, a therapist, anybody can make a false allegation, and it's really devastating to have a false allegation made on you. In 2000, I'm going to speak about myself. In 2007, after fostering over 20 years, I was falsely accused when my 19-year-old daughter that I raised from when she was 3 years old hit my grandson. My name was placed on the registry for 28 years. I never hit, never harmed, seen over 60 different children come in and out my door. I cared for them. I stayed up late nights waiting for those children to come in. I read bed stories. I took the kids on trips. We did a whole lot of things through life, but when you get that false allegation, none of that matters. It goes out the door. Nobody cares. So what I have to say tonight is that we need to make a change. And changes is made with people. So we all have to come together to make a change, because we can't continue to allow our names to be placed on this registry for 28 years. You can kill somebody and not even get that kind of sentence. You get a death sentence when you just opened up your home, your heart to care for somebody, and then you're going to be placed on a registry for 28 years. What happens to all of those days that you took care of all these kids, the love and the kindness that you gave them? You understand? False allegations are awful. They're devastating, and we need to go by changes. We all need to come together and get with FPA to make a change. And I also would like to applaud Ms. Matthews and Ms. Hooper for their excellent job, the difference they made in the foster care system and social justice issues. Thank you.